Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video, and today I will be doing a review of the JJRC H18 hexacopter, as you can see here. Now this was sent to me by gearbest.com, and now this hexacopter is pretty unique. I believe it might be a clone of like the XR7 or something. I've seen other ones similar to this, but one thing that makes this a little bit different, as you can see, the props, these props are pretty big. Now it might look about the same size as the MJX X900, other nano hexacopters of that size. However, this is just a little bit bigger. It's still a nano hexacopter, but as you can see there, it's a little bit bigger than some of the other similar sizes. Let's see, it has a charge port and on-off switch in the back here, as you can see. And then there's the on-off switch. You plug it in or turn it on, and there's only one light up there. But if you turn it on, once you bind it, as you can see, it'll flash. Well, that's because my battery's dead, but it'll flash blue and red. But that's kind of disappointing because there's no night flight for that. However, it does help more than you would think for orientation, have a nice bright headlight. So that's better than no lights at all. And it comes with a little yellow USB charger here, ending in the common charge plug down there. Then you have a bag of spare props. However, there's not a full set. There's only 2 whites and 2 blacks. You have an instruction manual here that goes over the functions of the hexacopter. And then you have the box here. You can see JJRC H18. There's an orange and green version. I was sent the orange version from GearBest. And then this is the transmitter here. Now it's kind of an interesting little transmitter. It's got these 2 little things down here for your hands. And the sticks are actually not too bad, and they're not sticks or pinchers. They're thumb pads, but they're not too bad. But I'm a thumb flyer, so that's good for me. And then up here, as you can see, there's an LR and FB. Those are your trims: forward, backward, and left, right. So kind of weird, but once you get used to it, because forward and backward, left and right, it kind of makes sense. So you just gotta pay attention and maybe look down. At least they're marked nice for you. And then you have your on-off switch here, and your left stick does click, and I believe that enters headless mode. I'll put a caption over the video if that's wrong. And then your right stick you click, and it'll do a flip. Now, like I said earlier, because of these props being so big, they're really big props. This thing has a ton of power, and it's also really loud. And now, one thing about this transmitter is it only has one rate. There's no switching rates. However, it has a decent, good fast yaw and a high pitch, so it's pretty much a really good rate to fly fast in. However, I wish there would be a lower and maybe a higher rate for a beginner or more advanced flyers. However, if you give full yaw on this, it'll be doing a yaw. However, after about 2 seconds of holding full yaw, it'll go up to like the crazy H8 mini yaw. Like, it'll start spinning crazy fast. So you have to kind of make your turns and then get off of it, or else it'll do like a spin out at the end there. Pretty sure the internal battery is 180 milliamp hours, so sort of large for a hex, but since it has these big props, that's nice. And to charge it from the USB charger that comes with it, it takes about 35 minutes, and flight times are about 5 minutes and 15 seconds, which isn't too bad for a nano hex considering this has so much power. Now, like I said earlier, it is fairly loud, so that's a negative, I think. But as you can see, it just looks really nice, and the build quality of it feels pretty nice. There's nothing like missing. There's 6 screws on the inside there, and then there's one on each motor arm out here, so there's 12 total. So there's nothing like it feels really solid. And I've crashed it a bunch of times and nothing's happened, and if you lose or break a prop, just bend it back. However, they are really, really, really flexible, so I doubt you're ever gonna break a prop, but they are really flexible. That might be why they vibrate so much or make so much noise, because the tips are vibrating. But overall, I think it's $19 on, say, GearBest, but really cheap overall, and it flies pretty nice, and I do like it. I wish there was more rates though. Just one rate isn't always a good idea. However, since it's a decent fast rate, I wouldn't say for a beginner, no, and I don't like the full yaw spin out thing, because you can't do a funnel then. Well, you can, it'll just be like the super tight funnel. But if you hold the yaw and you're not completely maxed, like that last difference, it won't do the spin out. So it does have good like input points on the transmitter for that. But yeah, overall I like it, so I'll do an indoor flight and just fly it around my room, and then I'll take it outside and show you what it can do. So let's go check that out. Okay, here we are for the indoor flight of the JJRC H18, which is a nano hexacopter, and as you can see there's only one LED up front. Flashes blue and red, however it's really bright. And now when you get to LVC, I'm pretty sure I forgot to mention this in my review, when you get to LVC it'll flash only red. However, I've been getting really early LVCs, like it'll flash red in the first minute, but then I get another 4 minutes of flight. So I'm going to try and do flips right away so I can show you the flips. So here's the stock transmitter, a little weird, but you know, not too bad. There's only one rate on this, so let's just start up. As you can hear, it sounds quite a bit different than anything else. Really loud because of those props. Now I do need a little bit of trim, so I just trimmed it out there. Now let's try some flips by clicking in the right stick. You just click in the right stick and then give input. Oop, nope, as you can see I have LVC already, but I did one flip there. It does flip very nice, but I don't understand why it gives me LVC so early. But here's the pitch, the one rate. It only has one rate, however, it's a good, decent rate. It's not terribly fast and it's not terribly slow. As you can see, there's the one rate. And now the one thing I don't like about this hex is the sound. It's really loud. I think it's because of those props on it, but it does give a ton of power. You see down here. This thing is the most powerful hex I have. Nano hex, at least. And now here's the yaw rate. As you can see there. Now, like I said in my review, if you hold it for too long, that's the yaw, because if you hold it, you can see it'll spin up to the really fast, crazy yaw rate, which I don't like either. So you kind of have to make your turns and then get off the yaw. You can see there, because if you just hold in the yaw, it'll spin up to the crazy yaw. And then here's a funnel, full yaw, full pitch. Get a close-up shot of it. Here it's pretty loud. The sound is very distinct. A lot of vibration, it sounds like. Under it. But it does fly really well, and I've got pretty good range with this. I've flown it probably 35 meters out behind a tree, around a tree that I was doing like an obstacle course, and you know, it was a little hard for me to see, and it didn't lose range. And as you can see here, and when you're doing bank turns, it seems to maybe pitch a little bit more. And there, you just can't stay on that yaw too long. You gotta do figure eights. But yeah, not really too much for me to show indoors. You see that yaw spin out, kind of, ooh, can catch you off guard. You gotta get used to it. But you can see very fast, very powerful. I'm never even going full throttle on this, so very powerful and fast hex. So I think that was good enough indoors, so let's land it here. Ooh, hit the box. Oh well, that was my indoor flight of the JJRC H18, so now let's take it outside and I'll show you what it can do. Let's go check it out. Okay, here we are for the outdoor flight of the JJRC H18. As you can see here, I have it bound to the stock transmitter. So let's start with a hand launch. And now it is a little bit windy out right now. As you can see, it's getting blown back. But quick before my battery goes into LVC, I'll try and do some flips for you. There's one, there's two. It does pretty nice flips, locks you out before and after them, but as you can see, pretty nice flips. Nice looping ones, since it has a lot of power. There, I did a manual flip. So here I'll show you the yaw rate. Here is, hit the camera. Here's the one yaw it has, but like I said before, after you hold it for like 2 seconds, right there, as you can see, it'll spin up to go to the really fast yaw. So it's kind of annoying, and since there's only one rate, that does that. And then here's the pitch that it has, as you can see there. Decent pitch, but overall I'd still like to see rates, but it still does fly pretty well because the rate it has is fairly decent. So, still didn't get LVC, I can still do flips. Oop. Now I have LVC. Even though it's not gonna die. But I just can't flip it anymore, but try and keep it a little close since it's a nano hex, but as you can see, this thing is really fast. It's got tons of power. I haven't had any range issues with it, but I'm still not gonna take it. I'm not gonna take it out any farther than I have been, because I've lost several nano hexes same way. So let's see, I calibrated headless at the beginning of the flight, but it's way off. I'm pretty sure, I don't know, it wasn't really working at all there, but I always just leave that feature alone since it's pointless. And yeah, there's really not too much to show on this one because there's only one rate, and there's nothing really with a transmitter. But here, let's do a funnel, and then it goes up to the high funnel, but then the pitch goes down pretty low. So it seems like once it switches to the second rate, kind of, the pitch goes down. But as you can see, it flies pretty nice and fast. It's a little bit loud. I don't really like the noise of it. But those props it has, that's what gives it all its power, so. And I do like that it has the different colored ones in the front, the white ones. So that's really nice. Let's get a close-up of it. A little hard since it's windy out. Just wanting to lean a little bit. There we go. See, pretty fast. But yeah, I think that was good enough. That's really all there is to show with it. There's not too much. It's just an overall, it's a decent hex. I would recommend it, however, I think there are a few better options out there, but overall it's not too bad of a product, and I really like it. It's like $19 on GearBest. There'll be a link to check it out down below, so please subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.